That is what we call a bitch slap. A bitch slap for a bitch. What do you say we go outside and finish it off, huh?
You are going down for this, Ari.
I don't really care. Now you apologize for what you did, or I'm going to knock you the f out.
Good day and good night. Welcome to the High and Low Retrospective, where we rewind the clock, dive back into the shows that made an impact, for better or for worse. Today we're talking about one of the most defining TV series of the 2000s, a series that promised a peek behind the velvet rope of Hollywood, a cultural touchstone that seems to have faded faster than a spray tan on a blonde baddie in the midday sun. Our subject, a series that ran for 8 seasons on HBO, garnered numerous Emmy nominations, and spawned a feature film. We're diving deep into the world of fast cars, beautiful women, and unchecked male privilege. Yes, we're talking about Entourage, HBO's hit series that chronicled the rise of Vincent Chase and his loyal crew in Hollywoodland. Let's dig into its origins, its impact, the reasons for its initial appeal, and why this once ubiquitous show has become a near-forgotten relic of the mid-2000s. Grab your Yankee fitted hat and a bottle of Avion tequila, and let's head to the Hollywood Hills. Entourage debuted on HBO on Sunday night, July 18th, 2004, and ran for 8 seasons, ending in 2011. The series arrived at a time when the network was solidifying its reputation for groundbreaking original programming. It fit perfectly alongside shows like The Sopranos and Sex and the City, offering a similarly aspirational, albeit more masculine fantasy for its target audience. The show was created by Doug Ellin, a writer who had worked in television and film but struggled to break into the mainstream. The series was loosely based on the early career of Hollywood star Mark Wahlberg, who also served as an executive producer. Wahlberg, who rose to fame as a rapper, Marky Mark, before transitioning into acting, found himself surrounded by childhood friends from Boston while navigating Hollywood's highs and lows.
What did you say?
He pitched the idea to HBO as a comedic take on the entertainment industry, capturing the drama and absurdities of celebrity life through the lens of a tight-knit group of friends. The show was meant to be the Larry Sanders Show meets Swingers, a sharp satire on Hollywood mixed with the carefree attitude of guys chasing their dreams. Wahlberg's real-life experiences with his crew of Boston buddies who traveled with him, partied with him, and occasionally got him into trouble served as inspiration for the characters. At its peak, Entourage was a cultural phenomenon. Men and some women were drawn to its wish fulfillment fantasy, a young, handsome guy living the ultimate Hollywood dream with his loyal crew by his side. The show offered a glimpse into the world of premieres, parties, and power players, a world that felt both glamorous and accessible, provided you had the right connections, of course. The show's breezy, episodic structure made it easy to watch, and hilarious rapid-fire dialogue peppered with industry jargon and endless celebrity cameos gave it a sense of authenticity, even if it was often exaggerated to comedic effect. Entourage also benefited from its charismatic cast, with Adrian Grenier as the cool and collected Vince Chase, Kevin Connolly as the neurotic E, loosely based on Mark Wahlberg's real-life manager, Eric Weinstein, Kevin Dillon as Vince's older brother, the perpetually insecure Johnny Chase, aka Johnny Drama, based on Johnny Alves, a member of Wahlberg's real-life entourage, and Jerry Ferrara as the loyal and often hilarious Turtle, based on one of Mark Wahlberg's closest friends, Donnie Carroll. Jeremy Piven as Vince's fast-talking, high-strung agent Ari Gold became the show's breakout star, earning multiple Emmy Awards for his performance. His character was inspired by real-life Hollywood super agent Ari Emanuel, the co-CEO of William Morris Endeavor, a man that has since managed to far exceed the grandiose bravado of his on-screen persona. Entourage was an instant hit, initially well-received by critics who praised its witty writing, strong performances, the chemistry among the leads, and audiences loved the insider perspective of Hollywood. HBO had struck gold with a show that felt like a wish fulfillment fantasy for young men, as I mentioned earlier. Just guys who were living large, dating supermodels, driving expensive cars, and brushing shoulders with A-list celebrities. Now, speaking of A-list celebrities, the series featured an impressive lineup of guest stars: LeBron James, Scarlett Johansson, James Cameron, Martin Scorsese, 50 Cent, Eminem, Tom Brady, Jessica Alba, Mark Cuban, old Kanye, not new Kanye, old Kanye, Larry David, and the list goes on. These cameos added authenticity because these celebrities always played themselves, blurring the lines between fiction and reality. The show was nominated for numerous awards, including 26 Emmy Awards, winning 6. It also became a significant cultural touchstone with Johnny Drama's numerous one-liners and catchphrases like "Victory!" Beyond the accolades, Entourage tapped into a specific moment in American culture. It reflected the excesses of the early 2000s, a time of economic boom and conspicuous consumption. The show's celebration of wealth, hedonism, and male bonding resonated with a generation of young men who aspired to the Hollywood lifestyle. Despite its initial popularity, Entourage's cultural relevance began to wane by season 7. Critics started to tire of what they perceived as repetitive storylines, shallow character development, and a lack of real consequences for the characters' actions. HBO decided to wrap up the series in 2011 with an 8th and final season, but that wasn't the last we saw of Entourage. In 2015, a feature-length film was released, written and directed by Doug Ellin, in an attempt to recapture the show's magic. Unfortunately, the Entourage movie flopped at the box office, with critics calling it an unnecessary rehash of the series. It was clear that Entourage belonged to a different era. The biggest factor in Entourage's fall from grace was the changing cultural landscape in the 2010s. In the Me Too era, the show's bro-centric worldview started to feel dated and tone-deaf. What was once seen as aspirational appeared as a relic of hypermasculinity, which drew criticism from vocal critics. Moreover, the show's portrayal of Hollywood as a playground for the privileged few felt increasingly out of touch in an era of growing awareness of social and economic inequality. The escapist fantasy that Entourage offered no longer resonated with audiences as Hollywood had transitioned to issues of representation and inclusion. Looking back, Entourage is very much an artifact of its time, which is just another way of saying it might not have aged well for some people. While it captured the Hollywood dream and the zeitgeist of the 2000s, its portrayal of relationships and excess put a massive timestamp on the series, given the shifts in the cultural landscape since then. However, Entourage still holds a nostalgic place in the hearts of many. It remains one of HBO's most recognizable shows, even if its cultural footprint has diminished over the years. It was a show that celebrated Hollywood excess, a fascinating time capsule of early 2000s celebrity culture, pre-social media fame, and a peek behind the curtain of the last gasp of the traditional movie star era before streaming changed the industry forever. While some people feel it may not hold up under today's lens, its influence on bro-centric TV storytelling can be seen in shows like Ballers and Dave. And hey, it directly influenced the development of How to Make It in America, one of the most underrated shows ever. But that's for another retrospective.
Wait for it.
Anyway, next time you're looking for something to watch and stumble upon Entourage, hey, take a moment to watch it for what it is. It's a snapshot of a specific moment in pop culture history, a show that once reigned supreme. Not gonna lie, it's worth revisiting, at least the first few seasons, if only to see how much Hollywood and the world has changed since then. While its legacy might be complicated, it undeniably had a moment and provided a platform for some truly talented individuals behind and in front of the cameras. Patty Jenkins is a great example. She directed a few episodes of Entourage and went on to make the first Wonder Woman movie, starring Gal Gadot, who actually made an appearance in Entourage. Another episode director, Mark Mylod, went on to direct episodes of Game of Thrones and was a producer on 2 critically acclaimed hit TV shows, Shameless and Succession. So thank you for that, Entourage. Anyway, that's the High and Low Retrospective on Entourage, a show that can't be denied its place in TV history, even though history has buried it under layers of evolving perspectives. Many people are torn on this one, which is why I would recommend a watch so you can form your own opinion, but that's just me. And remember, victory isn't always about the flashy parties and movie premieres. Sometimes it's about the camaraderie, the ambition, the sheer audacity to chase your dreams, even if you stumble along the way. Perhaps the greatest lesson Entourage teaches us is that while fame and fortune can be fleeting, the bonds of friendship and a good slice of pizza can last a lifetime. So don't forget to like, Subscribe and join us again for more deep dives into the shows, movies, and music that define generations. Until next time, stay curious, stay nostalgic, and always keep your agent close and your entourage closer.